One of the project's goal was to maintain the integrity of these particular grasses in the Grand Prairie. And one of the things that UAPB has done was to actually harvest about 3 to 4 acres of sod from the prairie that had been relocated to the UAPB farm that in its natural state. And we're maintaining that site as a natural site. So we're just managing it, basically just making sure that some of the excess be removed periodically. We're mowing it periodically, but it's being maintained in its natural state. That particular site is not being fertilized or anything. It's just being maintained primarily. Okay. Native grass seeds established early in the spring. Matter of fact, the optimum planting time is right about now, up until about April 15th. You can go as late as May 15th as far as planting these seeds. This is the optimum time for planting of these native grass species. On the Lone Oak Farm, we're planting at a rate of around 10 pounds of seed per acre. As far as preparing the ground, you work up the ground pretty much like you would if you were preparing the ground for a wheat crop or a rice crop. You till the ground up, perhaps disc the ground up real good, pulverize the ground, use a field cultivator as part of the process. Then you establish the actual seeding either through a broadcast method or through a drilling. Using a drill, specialized drills are available to actually put this seed in a precision level within the surface, within the top of the surface of the ground. Now, use a broadcast method. It's better to, once you roll the soil surface first, then you broadcast the seed on the ground, then you come back and roll it again. That way you get good soil to seed contact. And that's very important. And you only want that seed about 1/4 of an inch deep. You don't want it very deep at all. Because if you get it any deeper than that, it's not going to come up. It's not going to come up. Now, with native grasses, you have very low viability. And just the ability of the seed to revegetate itself. Okay? Now, with this particular seed that we're talking about, we're only getting about 15 to 20% in some cases of viability. The germination levels are very low. Now, it's very important that once you get these seeds established, is to try to make sure that during the management, in that first year, it's very important that you try to get as many of the weed problems associated with that first year out of the way. And basically we use cultural practices because herbicides have not been recommended for these particular cultivars. Okay, this field here was planted. We prepared the ground by disking. This field was relatively clean already, so that's a significant thing. We dished it once. We field cultivated it. Then we came back and rolled it with a roller. We actually planted this one with a drill, with a specialized native grass drill. We drilled it and put it down there right about 1/4 inch. And after we got through planting it, we come back and roll it again. That second rolling is very significant. Don't try to plant these grasses on soft ground. That ground needs to be almost as firm as this floor when you put the seed in the ground. You put it in a soft ground, if you disc and then just put your seed out there, you're going to lose half your seed. Because on this ground, you still got a lot of areas for a seed to fall in, and if you come back and try to cover it, guess what? You're going to cover it too deep. You don't cover it 2 inches, and you're going to lose that seed. It's not going to come up. So it's It's very important to have seed planted pretty even across that field at a certain depth. And you will achieve that by getting that ground prepared real clean, rolling the ground first, planting it, whether you use a drill or a broadcast seeder. And very importantly, is rolling behind the seed being applied. And make sure it's got good soil seed contact.